And the strong and healthy people didn't like that message, but all those of us who have known sickness or who have known a loved one who has struggled with sickness, when we hear that message and we see the open arms of Christ, we say, oh yes, this is the way that it is. And in a world where people were divided up by nationality and by religion and by ethnic descent, Jesus came in and said, you people, you are so divided. Let me ask you this, who is your neighbor? And he told the story of the Good Samaritan. And Jesus' people hated the Samaritans because they were divided and they were different and they were not the same nationality. And Jesus said to them, it doesn't matter what your nation is. It doesn't matter what your religion is or what your language is. The Samaritan was beloved of God because he felt tenderness in his heart. And I have come to build a new kingdom and a new world built on compassion and tenderness that connects all of us together. Humankind united by grace and by love. And in the same way, he talked about how we had divided ourselves up in strata according to our wealth. And Jesus said, doesn't matter how wealthy you are or how poor you are God's family, you are beloved. Jesus came into a world that was corrupt, and he created a whole new reality based on simple ideas. All human beings are precious. All human beings are equal. All human beings are beloved by the great creator of the universe. And he began an unprecedented movement of love and grace and wonder in this world. A movement filled with mission that overlooked class divisions and language and nation and religion. A human movement of endless love and wonder and glory. That's who Jesus is. And some people resented that. They didn't like the idea that all people were precious, that all people were equal, that all people were beloved. And so they killed Jesus and they put him into the grave and they said, it is over, it is finished. The reality which that man tried to bring to you was wrong and false, and we have killed him, and that reality has died with him. It is over. And all the hopes, and all the wonder, and all the power that he brought was laid down low into the grave. Finished. The hope of humankind, the destiny of the planet lost because he was murdered by cruelty and ignorance and darkness and greed. Then a strange thing happened. Some weeks after his death, his disciples were gathered together in fear and brokenness, and they were saying, would it not have been wonderful? Would it not have been incredible if the things that Jesus said were true, and if the reality he represented was real? Wouldn't it have been? And then someone said, and maybe it was James or John or Peter, one of them said, wait a minute, he is alive. The grave cannot contain him. Death cannot defeat him. He is alive, I tell you. And he is with us, and he walks with us, and everything that he taught us and everything that was represented in him is alive. And around those disciples, a new belief built up. He is alive. He is with us. He is in the midst of us. And all the things he told us are true and powerful. We are all precious. We are all equal. We are all beloved by God. It doesn't matter what divides us. We are all God's precious children. And we are going to live our lives from this day onward in that new reality which he built. The substance of him has been raised up from death because death could not hold him. And we are going to live as the resurrection people, the Easter people. The people who take all divisions away and create a new humankind based on love and compassion and mercy and wonder. And today, to believe in the resurrection of Jesus Christ is to affirm all of those things which were the substance of Christ's teaching and Christ's love. To say, I believe in the resurrection. That is to say, I believe that all human beings are precious. All human beings are equal. All human beings are beloved by God. We are the Easter people, the resurrection people, and that reality is going to change the world from this day forward and forevermore. There's a little problem with the resurrection and the way in which the church sometimes teaches about the resurrection. The problem is this: we separate the event of the resurrection from the meaning of the resurrection as if the two are not connected. We have become so concerned with orthodoxy and with doing things right that we say to people, do you believe in the resurrection? And we are demanding of them the right orthodox answer. We are not saying to them, do you believe in what the resurrection means? We say, do you believe in the resurrection? And if you do, you're going to go to heaven. And if you don't, you're going to go down into hell. And on the basis of that threat, people answer the question without thinking about it. They simply say, yes, I believe in it. But for many people, all that the resurrection is the reanimation of a corpse coming up out of the grave. And to believe in that is meaningless. It has no power. It has no wonder. When you say, I believe in the resurrection, you must say to yourself, what am I saying? What does the resurrection mean? And instead of us saying to people, do you believe in the resurrection? We need to start saying, do you believe in what the resurrection means for you and for all of humankind? What it means is, God is love. All human beings are precious. All human beings are equal. All human beings are beloved by God. And it doesn't matter about your social status, your age, your race, your religion, your color, your gender, your sexual preference, the language that you speak, your level of intelligence, or your outward appearance. All humanity is beloved. Every human being is precious. Every person is equal. And that's why we live our lives with compassion for those who are sick or broken, tenderness towards the poor, grace towards people of different religions or nationalities, love for those who look different from us by virtue of their status or their color. We live lives opened up to God's wonderful love.